Hey friends, Life Coach Rich. Next piece of advice related to a business lesson. If you get to a point of, merging companies, or you're looking to sell a company, I want you to make sure that you have lawyers look at the contracts, look at things from your perspective. I naively did not have lawyers look at the contracts from our perspective, if it was in our best interests. They looked at the contract saying, hey, this is, God allowed us to build a service-based industry company, small business, and then sold it to someone in 2023. But we naively did not have the lawyers look at the contract from our perspective. Was this in our best interest? What's going to happen if it's sort of a worst case scenario? Let's say you work there for a year and then they say it's time for you to go. What if you work there for 2 years and it's time for you to go? 3 years, 5 years? So if it's within a non-compete time frame, if you think about the worst case scenario kind of happened to us. I came on as at-will employee, and then I had a 5-year non-compete, which was totally too long. It should not have been 5 years. It should have been a 2 to 3 years at max. And then I was told that my leadership was no longer needed after a year and 4 months. And so I can't go and start another. The way that the contract was worded, I can't even go and work for somebody, even if I had money to buy into another company as a partner in that same area. I can't even buy into another company and work there in that particular field, in my field of expertise. So it was a completely win for their perspective. It was a total loss from our perspective, because I'm an expert in the industry and have a long time, a lot of experience and years of experience in that industry. So it was just after I was told you need to go, then we looked closely at the wording of the contract and stuff. We didn't look at that at the beginning. So if we would have noticed those kind of things, if we would have had somebody looking at it from our perspective, from our interest, looking at it for our interest, then we could have thought about that and go, hey, we need to renegotiate some stuff here. We would have had leverage at that time because the owner was buying our company and another company and wanted me to come on as the general manager to merge the two companies together. He didn't want to run it. He didn't have the capability to run it. He wasn't an expert in the industry. So we had leverage then. We could have negotiated related to the contract. Hey, this 5-year non-compete, that's too long. This, if you let me go after a year, after 2 years of the non-compete, then what's going to happen? You're going to have to buy me you're going to have to pay me extra because I have no leverage. I'm giving away all of my rights, basically. That's sort of why I enjoyed working for myself. I don't have a problem at all with authority as long as I respect them and as long as they're making good customer service decisions and stuff. Once I start not respecting the person, I can't work for them. And so I expected to, we were getting along great and I expected everything to go well for the next 5-10 years. We were talking about a 10-year plan as far as scaling the business and what does that look like in 10 years? What does it look like in 5 years, 3 years, 1 year? So we had all these plans, but then I had no leverage after I signed the paper. So that's my advice to you in this video is think about things from the worst case scenario and specifically have lawyers look at the contract from your interests. Not if it's just a normal contract. Is this a normal buyout contract, asset purchase agreement, or a company purchase agreement, something like that? Does everything look normal? Well, yeah, everything looked normal, but they were not. It was just a normal contract. They were not looking at it from the perspective of our interests. We didn't ask them to do that. So it's not their fault, but we just naively did not think to ask about that. And that's part of what I want you to do things differently. I want you to think about business stuff differently and learn from the mistakes that we made. Because it's been a hard pill to swallow. And it's just the way it is. Been a hard pill to swallow.